Welcome to the show. You watch UAP Truth 33. I'm John. I'm your host. Today, I got a decent show for you, man. And I think you're going to like it. So, New York, just New York, in the first half of 2025 has seen over 66 reports of UFOs whizzing through the sky, right? That's just official. That's just the official reports. And Canada is establishing a new federal agency to investigate UFO sightings. So we're going to get into this. So please stay tuned. I'll be right back. So the National UFO Reporting Center has reported that there's been over 66 unidentified aerial phenomenon sightings in the state of New York, right? With 66 distinct incidents logged between January and late June, right? The state has had reports of an array of mysterious aerial objects ranging from glowing orbs, silent triangles, to fast-moving discs and shape-shifting lights. The incidents, according to New Fork, span rural hamlets, suburban skies, and bustling airspace of the Big Apple. Bustling airspace of the Big Apple. UFO cover used by government to hide a lot of things, former NASA agent says. Um, yeah, of course, right? Why wouldn't they? They're going to use whatever they can to their advantage. So, of course, they're going to say, look, you know, but here's the thing, right? If that was the case, which I believe that's true, but I also believe they're using this report that as a smokescreen to discredit UFOs, right? So it's like they're doing it both ways, and it's kind of like I kind of go by the mantra of Area 52, Chris Ramsey, right? When he says, "Look, I don't want you to believe anything." I try not to use the word believe. This is what he says, right? But just take the information in because even if it's not true, even if it's fictional, there's still value in it, right? So it's just data. It's just data points, right? But the thing that I notice is there's always data points from this case, data points from that case that seem to line up, right? And then it makes you wonder, what is this? What's this data point? Why is this interesting? Why is this important? Why is this data point showing up in multiple different cases? And this is when you can start to figure it out on your own. This is what I think we need to do with disclosure. I think we need to just totally put away the whole government's going to tell us thing. Who, you know, and look, I support Danny Sheehan, New Paradigm Institute, that whole movement. I'm with it, but at the same time, man, it's to the point now where even if government would tell us, most of us aren't going to believe it anyway. So where does that leave us? We got to figure it out on our own, right? And the National UFO Reporting Center, they're doing great work. You know, they're telling us pretty much, look, we're getting these reports from New York City. These are important cases. It's up. We've seen footage taken from aircraft, right, of different shapes of fast movers. Some of them are just sitting stationary in high winds. Some of them are moving slowly against the wind. A lot of these different anomalous behaviors that we're seeing, and the footage is out there. You just need to go look. And it seems as if, I swear, it seems as if TikTok is kind of putting the kibosh on a lot of those videos. Because a few months ago, I would look it up, and there would just be mass amounts of footage, on TikTok. And now you go and you look, and it's a little less. It's more people talking. And I think the whole New Jersey drone situation was, yeah, there was anomalous things in the sky. We were flooding the sky with drones, and they're trying to say it was China or this or that. And that's just, in my opinion, disinformation, right? Because they don't really want us to know what's going on. Apparently, the president has been briefed about Nordics. uh, you know, Rep Eric Burleson has put out some tweets that are kind of crazy to be coming from a representative. of the United States, coming from a member of Congress, saying he's been briefed, the president's been briefed. There's Nordics, there's different species of non-humans. Fascinating, right? But what do we do with this? Is he just into it and he's just tweeting things that he's found out? Or is this actually the soft disclosure that we've said it was? It's very interesting, right? So we're gonna get into all this today, right? And I'm glad you guys are with me. So yeah, we're gonna check out some of these tweets from Rep Eric Burleson, look at some other things. I also saw a video. I don't know if you guys remember the Skinny Bob footage of the alien from 2011. Really awesome footage. Looks real. It was supposedly taken in the 40s. It was leaked from Russia. And I think you guys are going to like it. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
But first, I want to ask a very simple question. So, Mike Gold, who is a former NASA administrator, he's come to Congress. He's spoken to us. He's on the topic of UAPs, and he said that NASA has untold numbers of videos and photos and things that could be turned over to the public or like a private agency or a nonprofit to comb through for using artificial intelligence to identify things. Would you be willing to work with me to make that happen?
So I'm happy to work with you. Again, today is my first official day, but I've spent it with all of you. I'm having a classified briefing on Friday over at NASA. Again, this is, I think, not just you, but I think America wants to know. I'd like to get more information, but obviously I'll coordinate and communicate with you as I get into the role.
Thank you.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust NASA as far as I can fucking throw them. So we got a big fire near Area 51. I guess it started about a week ago. It's getting close to this secret base. A lot of people are wondering, how this is going to turn out. I don't know. I figured I'd share this with you guys. Not sure what to think of this. I saw it on X. Figured I'd share it with you. But yeah, big fire near Area 51. So here we go. Canada needs a transparent, public-facing agency in charge of managing reports of mystifying things seen darting, blinking, hovering through their skies, according to a new report commissioned by Canada's top scientist. Uh, the Sky Canada Project report published this week calls for a federal framework for managing UFO sightings by the public and pilots as a replacement for the current patchwork of protocols across departments that hinders scientific investigations. So this shows Canada is starting to, as other countries also, the UK, there's a lot of countries are starting to come out. And I believe that this is part of a larger framework of it's a design, right? It's a soft disclosure. They're pretty much prepping us to get us acclimated. So, and it's a very slow process. And I think the reason is so, like, when I was growing up, UFOs, they would laugh you out of the room if you spoke UFOs. You know, when I was teenager, even in my early 20s, mid 20s, hell, some of my 30s, right? And but now you look at the kids that are growing up, they're growing up with this narrative, right? So that in the years to come, it when it does come time to disclose, hopefully I'll be alive still. This won't be such an ontological shock for society, and I think that's what we're seeing here. And so there's some evidence that there's something really unusual going on in the skies. We just don't have enough information," said Winnipeg-based scientist Chris Rutkowski. So you know they're starting to organize, right? These other countries, and that's good. This is good for us, right? This is what we want. The Sky Canada project was created in 2022 by the Office of the Chief Science Advisor, Mona Nemer, partly in response to growing public interest in the topic of UFOs, also known as UAP, or unidentified anomalous or aerial phenomena. Staff set out to identify challenges related to data collection on UAP sightings and provide a summary of how other countries approach the issue. The project was tasked with doing an environmental scan of historic reporting practices across the federal government and present day UAP procedures of different federal agencies. So we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. It's
Have I talked to you about like the system theory? In the 4chan whistleblower talks about these mobile construction units that live underwater and create these craft that are built to spec and then act as this monitoring system to make sure that everything's going well. These intelligences that are controlling this system behind it all are just trying to make sure that life progresses and that life exists in the universe. Like, that's their goal. There might be some type of war game scenarios as well happening, right? We've heard of this. We've heard of Operation Interloper, essentially driving these nukes out into the middle of the ocean to see if they can trigger some type of response. Now, if you're an intelligent species, you're not going to fall for that twice. These aren't fish, right? So if you're out there psionically or war games or whatever it is, trying to attract this phenomenon, I don't believe that what we're interacting with is the intelligence behind the phenomenon. I think what we're triggering is some type of autoimmune response.
wow. Yeah, I watched that last night, man. I wanted to get that, run that by you guys, see what you thought of that. So what do you guys think? So you got Canada creating this federal agency to take reports of UFOs, to organize it, to be able to organize the data for a proper investigation. And only that, you have these other countries doing it also. So, and then you look at National UFO Reporting Center with the 66 reports in New York. So we're seeing I feel like it's like an acclamation of society towards disclosure. So that's good, man. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Please hit me up in the comments. Like, subscribe, share it to a friend. Share it to everybody you know, man. Share it to 2 friends, 3 friends. I don't know. I'll get back with you tomorrow. Peace.